I woke up to a notification on my phone, a recording, at 2:08 a.m. That wouldn't be strange, except for one thing. I don't remember recording anything, and when I pressed play, I heard a voice in my room. Not mine. I've tried to explain it for months. I can't. So I'm just going to tell you exactly what happened. I want to be really specific about the timeline because when I first told people about this, they kept finding holes. So I went back and checked everything. Timestamps, phone logs, everything. It was a Tuesday morning. I woke up around 7:15 a.m. Normal. I'd slept fine as far as I knew. No bad dreams. No waking up in the middle of the night. I felt rested. I picked up my phone from the nightstand, opened the recording app, and started doing what I always did. Scroll through the clips, delete most of them. There were 11 clips from the night before. That was slightly more than usual. Normally I'd have 6 or 7, but not dramatically different. I started from the top. Clips 1 through 4 were snoring. I deleted them. Clip 5 was me coughing once and rolling over. Deleted. Clip 6 was quiet. Just background noise that had somehow crossed the threshold. Maybe a car outside. Deleted. Clip 7 was 2:08 a.m. I pressed play. For the first few seconds, it was just silence. The kind of near silence you get in a bedroom at night. A faint hum. Maybe the heating system. Maybe nothing. I almost swiped to delete it, and then I heard a sound that made me stop. It was a voice, not my voice. I sat up in bed and turned the volume all the way up and pressed the phone against my ear and listened again from the beginning. Silence. And then a voice, low, unclear, not speaking in any particular direction, not right next to the mic, somewhere in the room, like someone murmuring to themselves in the dark. I could not make out a single word. I sat there for a long time with my phone pressed to my ear, listening to this voice I didn't recognize, say things I couldn't understand in my bedroom while I was asleep 3 feet away from it. I played it 4 times. Then I opened the next clip. I checked the time again. 2:08 a.m. I was asleep. I know I was asleep. So who was talking? Clip 8 was 2:19 a.m. 11 minutes after clip 7. I pressed play. Same silence at the start. Same low hum. And then to voice again. This time it went on longer, almost 40 seconds. The same low murmur. The same unclear words, except. And I've gone back and forth on whether I actually heard this or whether my brain invented it. Near the end of the clip, the voice seemed to get slightly quieter, like whoever it belonged to had moved further from the phone. Or further from the bed. I put my phone down on the mattress and just sat there in my bedroom in the morning light and looked around the room. At the closed door, at the closet, at the window with the curtain still drawn. Everything looked exactly the same as always. I picked the phone back up. Clip 9, 2:34 a.m. I want to describe this one carefully because this is the clip I keep coming back to. It starts the same way. And then nothing, no voice. Just quiet, long enough that I almost deleted it. And then, at the 17-second mark, a sound. Not a voice this time, a footstep. One single footstep on the hardwood floor beside my bed, and then nothing. I know what hardwood sounds like. I have lived in that apartment for 3 years. I know every creak, every loose board, the specific sound each part of the floor makes depending on where you step. And what I heard in clip 9, at 17 seconds in, at 2:34 in the morning, while I was asleep, was someone stepping on the floor next to my bed. I didn't listen to clips 10 and 11 that morning. I got up, checked every room in my apartment, checked at the front door, and all the windows were locked, and then sat on my couch for a very long time doing nothing. It wasn't distant. It wasn't from another room. It was right next to the bed, close enough that if I had woken up, I would have seen them. The rational part of my brain had a list of explanations. Neighbor noise bleeding through the walls. My building is old. Sound travels in weird ways. I've heard conversations from upstairs that sounded almost like they were in the room with me, sleepwalking. Maybe I'd gotten up, moved around, talked to myself, and had no memory of it. It happens. A dream. Maybe I'd been half awake and imagined I heard something and my brain had filled in the rest. I held on to those explanations for about a week. Then I made the mistake of going back and listening more carefully. I had a pair of good headphones, the kind that cancel outside noise. I waited until my apartment was completely quiet, put them on, and played clip 7 from the beginning at full volume. Twice. The voice was a man's voice. I was certain of that this time. Lower than mine. Slightly rougher, speaking at a normal conversational volume, not whispering, not trying to be quiet, just talking, like he didn't care whether he was heard. I listened to all 40-something seconds of clip 8 the same way. He talked for most of it, and this time, with the headphones, in the quiet, I caught 2 words near the end. Just 2 words. Still here. I listened again, carefully this time, and near the end, I heard it clearly. 2 words. Still here. Not random. Not unclear. It sounded intentional, like he wasn't just talking, like he was answering something. I did something then that I'm not sure was smart. I listened to clip 10, 3:47 a.m., an hour and 13 minutes after clip 9. It started differently. No silence at the beginning. It triggered mid-sound, which meant whatever caused it had already been happening when the app started recording. What I heard was breathing. Slow, steady breathing, not mine. I could hear my own breathing underneath it, slower and deeper, the rhythm of someone actually asleep. This was different, wakeful, measured. It lasted 22 seconds, and at the very end, just before it cut off, the breathing stopped. I checked the timestamp again, 3:47 a.m. That means whatever was in my room stayed there for over an hour. 3 months later, I ran into my downstairs neighbor in the hallway. We'd never talked much, just the occasional nod, held open door. He was in his 60s and had lived in the building longer than anyone. We ended up talking for a few minutes. He asked if I'd been sleeping okay, because he'd noticed my light on late a few nights. I told him I'd had a rough patch a while back, wasn't sleeping well. He nodded and said the building had that effect on people sometimes. Then, he said something that I have thought about almost every day since. And the apartment above mine, which had been empty for the past year, had a tenant in it. About 6 months before I moved in, he said he'd lived alone. Quiet man, kept to himself. He used to hear him walking around late at night, which didn't bother him, but apparently bothered the people across the hall. I asked what happened to him. He said he passed away. In the building. They found him after a few days. I asked which apartment. She pointed at my door. Not above me. Not next door. My apartment. She said he died there. Alone. And for a few seconds, I couldn't think. Because all I could hear in my head was that recording. Still here. I don't have the recordings anymore. I deleted everything that night, but I remember them perfectly. The voice, the footsteps, the breathing, and those 2 words. Still here. I don't know what recorded that, and I don't know why it was in my room, but I know one thing. It wasn't just passing through. If you've ever recorded something you can't explain, maybe don't listen too closely, because some things don't like being ignored.